truth. Since your first smartphone, how many models have you had? 3? 5? 10? More or less than the average, which is an upgrade every 2 years? The frequent turnover is of course encouraged by the companies themselves, the biggest culprit being Apple. In 10 years, the company has produced no less than 18 models.
I would love to say it's like the advances in the phone, but I don't think that's it. I think it's the hype.
In the last decade, more than 7 billion smartphones of all makes have been produced in the world. That's almost equal to the number of people on the planet. The required energy to make that happen, 968 terawatts. Is that a lot? Well, it's close to the amount of electricity used in India over a whole year. Add to that all the raw materials required, including dozens of metals and minerals. You may have heard of conflict minerals. Well, officially there are 4 of them, and all 4 of them used in your smartphone. Tin, tantalum, tungsten and gold. They're mined largely in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the cause of armed conflicts for just a few grams of the precious resource. Today, American and European laws require companies to verify where these minerals come from. But the rules neglected one important material, cobalt. There's a good chance the smartphone you use today contains cobalt mined by children.
Earning as little as $2 a day, and they are ripe for exploitation.
The United Nations, which is based in the DRC, says that there are at least 40,000 children working in these artisanal mines in the southern part of the country.
All this for phones that are not intended to last and are unlikely to be recycled?
We call it a take-make-waste model. So it's really take a lot of resources from the earth through mining, through all sorts of different processes, transform them into a product using energy-intensive, chemical-intensive manufacturing processes, and then have a very short lifespan and throw them away, and then repeat.
One company is trying to change exactly that. Based in the Netherlands, Fairphone pitches itself as the fairest smartphone of them all. Let me explain. Your battery is dead. Your screen is in pieces. No need to worry, simply dismantle it and repair the phone yourself.
I will make sure that you can swap your phone display in 10 seconds, basically, right? So I can just swap out the display, if it's cracked, it's damaged, and put a new one, and off I go.
To date, more than 100,000 Fairphones have been sold. At €525, it's not cheap, but will last 5 years. That's more than double the average. It may have won over the experts, but they do acknowledge a limitation.
The technology is out of date, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter at all. It's outdated compared to the current standards. That's the price for integrating components that are not necessarily state-of-the-art, but it's a phone that was never intended to demonstrate flagship technology.
But what about the ethics? Well, in that case, Fairphone shines. Its minerals come from conflict-free zones, there's donations to Chinese workers' associations, and recycling programs in Ghana. So how does one make a phone with minimal harm to people and the planet? The Fairphone founder explains.
If you eat a chocolate bar and you know the story behind it, and there's a nice brand around it, and you know the people, and it just tastes better. If we can make that same feeling, with a phone, I think it's really about that, creating that relationship, and really, also understanding as a customer that knowing that you're part of a bigger system that makes possible that you have that stuff in your hands. No, we can't guarantee that. Just to give you an idea, we have 1,200 components in our phone, and these are made by hundreds and hundreds of factories that have subcomponents that are made by hundreds of factories. We have more than 60 minerals in the phone. So you're basically talking, if you want to create a 100% fair phone, you have to create world peace. We start practically with conflict minerals. And we work with mines in Congo, we work with mines in Rwanda on tungsten, we work with gold in Peru. We were the first one to actually implement fair trade gold in the supply chain. So we do tangible things, but it doesn't mean that we have control over the whole supply chain. There's, it's just impossible. It's not a banana, right?
Many phones promise to make our life easier. This one promises a better life for those who make it. Though far from perfect, it offers an alternative. A little like a menu in a restaurant. Meat or vegetarian, iPhone, Fairphone or Galaxy, you now have the choice.